In this edition of High Bank Fury, the podcast, we are going to take it right down into the media center itself, and we had a major announcement done this week. As the first time in NASCAR history, a France will not be the chairman of the board, as Jim France is going to go ahead and he is going to step down and go into retirement. He'll still have his hands out there, as you're going to tell by these quotes that come up. But right now we have Steve O'Donnell. He comes out as well as Ben Kennedy, and he gave us comments on a couple of different subjects. We take you to the press room as we ask the questions.
To start out, we're going to be listening, and that means genuinely listening before making any decision. So I know there'll be a lot of questions. Where are you going? What are you doing? But I think it's important for us to go out there and spend the time listening to everyone in this industry, team owners, team principals, drivers, tracks, manufacturers, OEMs, and probably most importantly for us to all of the talented employees we have at NASCAR. Not just the leadership team, but those who are out selling the tickets, those who are out interacting with the fans and can tell you what's really happening and where we need the sport to go. So I know there's a number of areas that we need to address, and we're going to move with urgency. But what we're going to need from this industry, and I'm talking to everyone in this industry now, is their collective intelligence. Because we've got some of the brightest minds in all of motorsports each and every weekend in the garage. We got to tap into that, be united, and work together. Last couple things I'll say is, NASCAR has always been an American original. My job, our job, I think all of our jobs, is to make sure that the next generation of fans, wherever they grow up, whatever they do, wherever they come from, whatever makes them unique, knows that this sport belongs to them. Not because we changed who we are, but because new fans recognize what our core fans have known all along, that we're a badass American sport. And lastly,
we'll start with Kelly Crandall down here up front.
Kelly Crandall, Racer.com. OD, I have two for you. The first thing you said there in your, one of the things you said there in your opening was about uniting the industry, uniting everybody. You had made similar comments back when the Chase was reintroduced about working on relationships in the garage and kind of everybody getting off their own islands, coming back together. So have you kind of already started that? Like, what can you discuss or share? Like, have you already been in the garage kind of, because that seems like that's a big focus for you.
Yeah, no, that's a really great question, Kelly. And yes, I think the Chase is an example of when we are at our best. Everyone contributed to that idea. Tim Clark led that for us, but we had every stakeholder in the industry weighing in on what this could be. And you can see when we do those things and we come together, we won't always agree on exactly what comes out, but everybody's had input, and the results are usually pretty fantastic. So that's probably the example of, yes, that's a start. We need that tenfold. We need to do that with creating new businesses. What's the future product we're going to race? All those things, just getting ahead of it. So I think we do the day-to-day well, but where do we want to be 5 years from now, and getting that input from everybody in the industry, working closely with Ben on that, and then setting a plan that if you were to go interview any owner, driver, or track, or what's the plan for the next 5 years, or where do you want to be, they could all answer that somewhat similarly. That's the goal.
And then listening to your opening as a whole there, it almost sounded like a call to action, right? Like I said, like unite the industry. We have to listen. We're going to listen to everybody. We have to address matters with urgency. Is that an accurate assessment of this is not just swapping titles? Like we're here to buckle down and work, and we know we have things we need to do.
Yeah, we're going to get to work. We've already been at work. The biggest thing I think is twofold. Is we're going to make some moves, and we're going to have some fun. I think we lost that over the last couple of years, and it is an unbelievable privilege to be in this position. My wife reminded me today that people would kill to be doing what you're doing, and that's not lost on me. And it's a privilege to do it, but it's also fun. I mean, what we get to do each and every day, and the race you just saw was unbelievable, right? And the enthusiasm from the drivers. We got to showcase that. We got to be proud of that and proud of who we are, and I think you'll see more of that. And I think Ben brings a lot of that for us. The younger generation reminding us of, hey, you can't take months and months to make a decision. TikTok, whatever it is, right? You got to be quick, and but you got to be smart about it. And I think he's pushing for that, which is great.
When we come back from this 30, we have one final question asked to these gentlemen of both Ben Kennedy and Steve O'Donnell, and they're going to tell us some of the changes that may or may not happen in the sport. Make sure you listen closely, as some of your prayers are either going to be answered or they're going to make you frustrated. We'll have that for you next. This is Roy J. Akers for the High Bank Fury podcast. We are found multiple times weekly, where we talk to NASCAR drivers, cover stories, and those that shape the sport. This is not just another podcast. We get exclusive content, talk fantasy NASCAR racing, and spill the news before other media outlets drop their take. We are on all podcast channels, the YouTube channel, and can be found on skyviewsports.net. Check out High Bank Fury, the podcast, today.
Actually, for either of you, but can you talk about, and you kind of alluded to it, Steve, the importance of the fan input as you kind of go forward, things where fans can really feel as if they are, I don't know if having a say is the right expression, but you know.
Yeah, we're the one sport, which is awesome because we, in the fact that they are the most passionate fans, and you know where they stand. And I think with that passion, you know, we lost a little bit of fans feeling like this was their sport, and you're seeing that come back. The Hell Yeah campaign is all about that. But as we go forward, it's taking their input and making some moves. You know, the chase was part of that. The chase was making that move to go back, and I think there are a lot of other ideas that are out there that, you know, the fans go is what they see the drivers do, you know, adding horsepower, doing some things this year that we're going to continue to make those moves, hopefully in the right direction that our fans embrace. Hopefully see that, you know, throughout this year. And with that, you know, our fans are the best salespeople in the sports world, right? They love NASCAR. If we can get anyone here to the infield at Talladega, they're going to be coming back. And so that's the goal, is showcase to everyone what we all love about this sport.
And that is it, everybody, for this edition of High Bank Fury. We'd like to thank NASCAR Productions, NASCAR itself, and we'd also like to thank Steve O'Donnell and Ben Kennedy, as well as Jim France, for all coming in here and talking about the transition to leadership, which kind of happened at an unusual time, just a quarter of the way through the 2026 NASCAR season.
Official results on the left. Like Van Gisbergen and Buescher made some gains there in the final couple of laps at the expense of Gregson. Bowman and Gilliland round out the top 10. I love that three-way battle, and I love that they didn't run all over each other trying to make the pass.
Yeah, and honestly, when you look at that restart, I think we all anticipated it being a lot more aggressive than what it was. But I think that where the restart zone is, it kind of spread that out. And these guys all put on a great show.
They took care of one another. They raced each other clean. That restart could have been a disaster. We've seen it, and these guys are professionals up front, and they proved it.
Look at these faces. That's been a day's work out there.